Hey, hey, it's Ray. Welcome back, everybody. And welcome back to me, I guess I should say. Yeah. How are you, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving from the United States. To all my viewers outside of the US, today is Thanksgiving, which is celebrated on the fourth Thursday of every November. It's basically one of our big feast holidays, and yeah. Hello to Illusory Singer, Candace Volker, and Fizz Katos. It is so good to see you guys right as I come back. Oh, I forgot to finish my intro. Hey, it's Ray, virtual entertainer and wolf girl at your service. It's been a while, huh? Kept you waiting, huh? um, yeah, so let's address the elephant in the room. What happened to me? I got really sick. That's what happened. So, last week, as you all know, I had some plans to read more, native folklore and stuff, and then play some games, and then cut to pretty much last Wednesday. I woke up feeling extremely bad, and it only got worse. I had massive fever. Um, and then the fever gave way to extreme body chills. Like I felt like somebody just injected ice right into my veins. Um, but on the outside, I felt like somebody was was like pressing my body to like a grill. Um, and then there was the body soreness. Like every muscle in my body felt like I had done an Iron Man superset on it. And it just spiraled from there. That was day one, folks. It was bad. I was writing my will. I was already designating my successor. I was divvying up my assets, getting ready to dodge whatever final taxes would come after me in the event of my passing. Um, it was bad, folks. It was bad. And as you can tell, you might be able to tell from the sound of my voice, I'm still not 100% yet. I would say I'm at a good healthy 90, but I'm not 100% yet. I've been left with a persistent cough. So if I go silent at some points during the stream, I have basically mastered the quick mute button and prevented you guys from hearing that. Hey T, good to see you. Happy Turkey Death Day and welcome back. But yeah, basically, um, I eventually gave whatever sickness befell me, whatever plague caught me. I eventually gave it the middle finger and you know, told it, hey, I got an audience to come back to. I got Rainiacs and Lanksters out there who need me. I ain't got time to die. So I'm here. And I have returned. It is so good to see you all. I am so sorry I had to take that week off. But we are back in business. And boy, business did not wait for me, did it? As we all know, it is quickly heading to the end of the month, and with that means we are already celebrating one holiday, which is Thanksgiving today. We're gonna start pretty much running straight into the Christmas season. Um, Pretty much already are with every minute that ticks by. Let's be real. But yeah, so I'm back and I'm gonna try to basically redo the stuff that I was supposed to do last week and do it today. Uh, do it this week. So that's gonna be fun. I've really missed you all. I legitimately, legitimately, the thought of coming back to you guys was a huge motivator in keeping me from just letting the sickness take me. Um, Like I make absolutely no exaggeration when I say that part of the reason I stuck it through was because I thought of you guys, and I did not want to call it quits yet. I have so much more that I need to do. I have so much more fun that I want to have with you guys. I have so many more stories I want to read to you, so many more games I want to play, so much more, there's too much to do for me to just give up now, right? Or to let death take me. So, we're not pausing for anything. I mean, we'll take a break here and there as needed, but honestly, even that is enough to bother me. So, break's over. It's back to the grindstone, right? Anyway, today is just gonna be a nice little chill return stream. It's my first day back, so I kind of wanna what do you call it? Kind of want to just see, where I'm feeling right now, where my stamina's at. Cause aside from like, my doctor and a couple of people that have been taking care of me, I have not been talking to anyone for any extended amount of time. So it's just gonna be just a little bit of a chill hangout. I don't even have a background track selected for today, so it's just gonna be the sound of my voice. um, but yeah, we're just gonna hang out. We're just gonna have fun. Um, so for those of you who do celebrate Thanksgiving, you already know the deal, and for those of you who don't, so Thanksgiving is, as I said, a feast holiday. On that day, basically, um, I'm gonna get you behind bars again if you don't rest properly. Yeah, well, that's called false imprisonment, and they would actually take your badge for it, and they would let me out. So good luck with that. I am going to work until I collapse again. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to, because mostly because I don't want to collapse, but uh you can't stop me. It is not illegal to overwork. It is just frowned upon by you, not me. Anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, for Thanksgiving, basically what we do is we just cook a lot of food, get together. Um, Usually, it's usually family or um close friends. If you're not celebrating with family, sometimes it's called friendsgiving. Sometimes it's just you know the general consensus is that it's a get together with the people that you're close with, and you celebrate what you are thankful for, um, giving thanks for the food and the company, the close friendships that we have, um, things that have gone good this year. Um, like for example, I'm thankful for, unironically, my health. After everything I've been through, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to still be able to, stream and to be here with you guys, because anything could have gone wrong. I could have lost a lung. I could have lost something, I mean? Like something could have happened to me to debilitate me and reduce my ability to stream. So I'm glad I have my health. I am thankful for all my Rainiacs and Langsters. Every single one of you who's been supportive, every single one of you who's left nice comments on my update posts when I said I was sick. Um, when even my Mane-chan, my parole officer over there, Candace, had to post on my behalf because I was just too sick to even log in and to type anything. I couldn't even form a coherent thought that day. Um, if any of you saw, there was a post that came out that was like not typed by me. It was typed by my parole officer saying that my health had taken a turn for the worse, and it was just, you know, um, I am thankful for all of you guys who were understanding and patient and waited for me to return. I'm thankful for my manager, for my parole officer. I'm thankful for my moderators, which is both Candace and Illusory Singer. You know, you guys are always watching over my chat, making sure everything's hunky dory, nice and amicable. Everybody's having fun. So, I'm really thankful to you guys for just, keeping my chat a safe space while I'm streaming. So, I'm thankful to all of you guys, and I'm thankful for all the good things that have happened this year. Starting my streaming early in the summer in June, and I'm just thankful for all the good times that we've had so far, and um, you know, thankful for having a stable internet connection. I could go on essentially, but the idea is that I'm taking the idea of Thanksgiving is to take the time not just to eat a lot of food, but to just appreciate what we do have, appreciate the fact that we do have all this food to make, and all these people to spend time with, and all the things that we may not take the time to stop and think about in our daily lives, the things that you might take for granted. For example, I'm thankful that if you have like a job that you might not love, but it is keeping food on the table, it keeps your bills paid, stuff like that. Um, Thankful for the friends that you might not always talk to, but when you do reach out, they're there. You know, um, Thankful for the company of your pets. For some for some people, pets are their most constant companion. So there's so much to be thankful for, and um, I'm thankful for finding your channel. I'm thankful for you. Legitimately, I am thankful that you found me. It means so much to me that you're here and you're such a active chatter, vocal supporter, and that I'm thankful for every single one of my Rainiacs and Langsters that have found me over the course of these past almost 6 months. Um, Actually, I think it's almost exactly 5 months because I think I debuted on June 25th or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So we're pretty much right at the 5 month mark. So I'm thankful for the past few months that we've spent together, and I'm looking forward, with so much ambition and so much hope and optimism for what's to come. Um, so yeah, and to bring things over to a personal interest of mine. Today is kind of an interesting coincidence. It's an interesting lineup because Thanksgiving doesn't have a solid day except for the fourth Thursday of every November, due to the fact that early on when it was proposed with George Washington and stuff, I think he proposed the 25th or whatever, and then other future presidents started moving it around here and there, and eventually it got to a point where people couldn't nail down a day. They couldn't know when it was coming, so they couldn't plan accordingly. And so Abraham Lincoln said, "You know what? Screw it. It is on the fourth Thursday of every month. There. Whatever day that falls on, that's what it is. But now we know. Let's move on." Um, so it's been pinned down to the fourth Thursday of every November, not a specific number, so that it doesn't change every year what day it lands on. You know how some holidays end up landing on a weekend or whatever, so it kind of alters what day off people have. But now we have a consistent people are off Thursday and sometimes Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. Um, but due to how things lined up this year, today is November 27th over here in the United States. And not only does that mean it's Thanksgiving, but to me, as a personal, on a personal level, it is also the birthday of somebody whom I admire greatly. Now, obviously, showing my age here a little bit, but um, I grew up with a huge love of martial arts media. You know, martial arts video games like fighting games like Tekken or Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and TV shows like WMA Masters or Power Rangers and stuff. But most importantly, martial arts movies, especially Hong Kong movies or other Chinese martial arts movies. And one of the first impressions I ever got of those was watching uh, the the film Fist of Fury. Later Enter the Dragon, but definitely first was Fist of Fury because I remember when the main character was like beating the crap out of an entire school of Japanese karate students, and the star of that movie was one Bruce Lee, who sadly passed away in 1973 at like barely 30 something years old. But he was one of the greatest martial arts talents that the world had ever seen. And that man inspired a lot in my own life. That man is why I got into martial arts. And basically, he shaped a lot about my early personality. So, November 27th is Bruce Lee's birthday. So, I have multiple reasons to celebrate today, not only for everything that I'm thankful for, but I also get to pay tribute to the man who set me on my journey of, you know, um, martial study and entertainer, uh, being an entertainer because he was a movie star for a while. Um, so happy birthday, Bruce Lee! You would have loved Tekken. So yeah, Bruce Lee was born in Hong Kong, and he was, um, he grew up in very turbulent times, stuff like that. Hong Kong was still in possession by the British, blah blah blah. But he came over here to the U.S. and studied, and not only was he exceedingly gifted as an athlete, he was also really smart. He was a philosopher, uh, and I guess basically you could call him a modern day warrior poet. And then he went back to Hong Kong to act for a while, made a few movies, and then made Enter the Dragon, which was to be his springboard into becoming an American star. Because prior to that, he had done a little bit of American television, like the Green Hornet television series, where he played Kato, the chauffeur sidekick of the titular Green Hornet. But he never had a leading role here. In Enter the Dragon, that would have changed. But unfortunately, just before the movie premiered, he had passed away. The accepted cause of death was some sort of reaction to an aspirin he had taken that had just uh, did something to his brain and killed him. But obviously, um, award-winning tango dancer too. Yes, actually, yeah, he was he actually was a cha-cha champion in Hong Kong. Um, and he was as good on the dance floor as he was on the martial arts mat. But due to just how like physically capable he was and how like essentially how powerful he was, a lot of people refused to believe that that something so simple had done him in. So of course there's been lots of cause of conspiracy and people, thinking, oh, there was some sort of mystic or assassination or some other sort of, and so there's been And so like in death he reached almost double the type of popularity that he had in life. Um, this is a man who was known for being so fast he had to slow down for the cameras. This is a man who was known to have been so fast that like he could take a coin out of your hand before you could close your hand and leave a different coin in there. There's a story that goes, one of his friends says, so Bruce told me to close my hand before he snatched the dime out of it. And so I closed my hand and I opened it and my hand is empty. And Bruce puts the dime back in and says, okay, now close it before I snatch it. And I close my hand and I open it and it's empty. And Bruce puts the dime back in and he says, no, seriously, close your hand before I take it out. And so I'm getting frustrated at this point, right? So I close my hand, I open it, and there's a penny in there. Bruce had swapped out the dime for a penny at the same moment that he snatched it right out of my damn hand. This is a man who is known for doing push-ups with one hand on two fingers. Do you realize how hard that is to do? Like, Bruce Lee did not screw around with his physical capability, his physical fitness. This man could send a 300-pound heavy bag that was hanging in the air and make it smack into the ceiling with a single side kick. Like, it's like let me try to pull something up real quick. Let me pull up an image that just signifies everything that I can. Okay. Where is it? Yeah. Okay. So this is, where is it? Let me just get the, okay, and there. This is what is known as the dragon flag. This is basically Bruce Lee kind of giving gravity the middle finger. He is supporting himself on his shoulder blades and not much else. The amount of core strength that takes is absolutely re-damn-diculous. Now you might think, oh, that's just a photo of him like holding it mid-swing, like he's swinging his legs up. Okay, sure. Now here's him holding it completely flat. Look at that. Do you see this? Do you realize how freaking physically hard that is to do? And this guy was not tall, he was not broad, but Bruce Lee's physique has been intensely sought after. Because the man had, like, practically no body fat. Like, let me see if I can just find this real quick. Look at this. Look, this is him. These are unaltered photos of him. This is just the kind of look he had. Look at those wings. What the hell? This guy was insanely cut. He was a, like, physical fitness marvel. Like, yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, huge guy and amazing muscles, and that's great. And on the exact other end, completely natural, Bruce freaking Lee. This guy did not fuck around. and everybody wanted to fight him. Is the crazy thing. On set, there is so much documentation of people who were like, yeah, so then this extra decided to try to fight Bruce Lee, and he challenged him, and then Bruce Lee laid him out in a single hit. And it's just like story after story of that. It was insane. This man, this guy is just fucking goals. Like, I don't think I have the genetic disposition to even try, but he makes me want to. But yeah, Bruce Lee was the realest deal. It's actually because of him that things like UFC even exist, because like Bruce Lee was a martial arts pioneer, which sounds crazy, but listen, at the time there was, oh look, there's a comparison shot of like Bruce and versus like the type of body type Arnold has. Anyway, at the time, martial arts was very um exclusive. It was not inclusive. It was very much, especially in the mainland, in mainland China, martial arts, Chinese martial arts should only be taught by Chinese people to Chinese people. It was very much a we don't teach this to outsiders kind of thing. And Bruce Lee went, nah, fuck that. I'm going to teach you what I want. And he taught white people, he taught black people, he taught other Asians that weren't Chinese. One of his closest friends, Dan Inasanto, was a Filipino man. Um, so um, he broke those rules, and not only that, but he also didn't stay. He didn't. How do I put it? The old Chinese masters were hell bent on keeping uh, Chinese kung fu, which we pronounce as kung fu over here because we're freaking stupid. I don't know, but um, Chinese Gong Fu was very rigid in its forms, in what counted as Gong Fu. But Bruce Lee said, "Nah, screw that. I'm gonna take the parts of this martial art that work for me, and I'm gonna get rid of the rest, and I'm gonna incorporate this martial art that works for me, and the parts of it that work for me, and then I'm gonna." And basically, he was mixing and matching and modulating and customizing. And so Bruce Lee made the first prototypical mixed martial art, which was the philosophy of um, Jeet Kune Do, which is spelled like this. Jeet Kune Do is not a martial art, though some people, for sake of simplicity, even people who were close associates of Bruce Lee, teach it as a martial art, but it's more of a philosophy of taking on what is useful and essential and keeping that and discarding everything else. Basically, um, you've got Muay Thai techniques, you've got Kung Fu techniques, you've got karate techniques, you've got judo, you've got jujitsu, all the things that the human body are capable of, whatever works for you, you are using it to its full advantage so that your body is at its best shape. You're not going to limit yourself to one style, to one form. You're gonna, if for example, you're a type of person who prefers to grapple, then you're gonna have an emphasis on jujitsu, on BJJ, but you also need to know how to strike, how to hit with the limbs. So maybe you take on some elements of Muay Thai so that you can use your elbows while you're grappling, or you take on some elements of it's exactly like that. It's like min maxing, yeah, essentially. um, but you'd be surprised how revolutionary that was at the time in the 1960s, which sounds like way too soon to be inventing new martial arts philosophies, and yet, here we were. And it was because of Bruce Lee laying down that foundation that the UFC and MMA institutions like that came into prevalence after that, because Bruce Lee mixed things like Wing Chun and Muay Thai together and stuff like that, and made his own style of martial art, which was essentially a no style martial art. But funniest of all, a lot of people think, oh, he was a martial arts badass. He could fight anyone and everyone, no doubt, no question about it. You forget. Jeet Kune Do's philosophy is about what's essential and what is useful. And a lot of the time, and I have his books and I've read them, one of my favorite things is that Bruce Lee would often be like, you know what? I have a great technique here that beats every technique in the book, that beats every martial art like style or whatever, what have you, secret technique, secret move, all that. There's one unbeatable thing you can do, and it only requires two legs. And that is you run the hell out. Bruce Lee was so fucking funny because, yeah, this is a guy who could level an entire room of people if he so wanted. But at the same time, he also had the good sense to go, why do that? Why put in the time and the effort to do that when you can just run? Fighting without fighting is like the fancy way of saying it. Yes. Yeah, he invented the Joe Star technique of just run the fuck away. And most notably, Bruce Lee was a man of sense in the sense that it came to, if there's a weapon involved, I don't care what you know. I don't care if you know how to disarm this person. I don't care if you know how to fight your way around a gun. The best thing you can do is run. And he's right. He's so fucking right for that. And I love that so much about him. I can't stop laughing every time everyone misunderstands Bruce Lee as just this like one man army. He was. He could if you absolutely trapped him in a doorless room and the only way out was to kick the crap out of these 10 guys. He'd do it. But if there was a window, he would dive roll out the window instead. Bruce Lee was so powerful and so multifaceted that his death left not only a huge, huge hole in the martial arts world and in the movie industry, he left a hole in, I would say, the fabric of the universe, a hole that everyone desperately tried to fill. So everybody tried to fill it. There arose a new genre of film, specifically martial arts films, that came in the wake of Bruce Lee's death, and that was called Bruce Ploitation, wherein people would get lookalikes or people who could kind of look like a past for Bruce Lee and make whole new martial arts movies that he was never involved in, slap the name Bruce Lee on it, and you got yourself a movie. This happened many, many times. It was a whole thing that it got its own name, its own title, and there were so many Bruce Lee clones throughout the course of cinematic history. Like, there was Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Bruce Leroy, Blue. It was just, it was too much. It was There was so many more movies than Bruce Lee himself was ever a part of, just made with people who kind of looked like him. Like, well, copyright is insanely loose over in China. Like, the bulk of martial arts movies came out of there, so we just got a whole bunch of schlock that came out of that. And yeah, it was bad. If you had a bowl cut and you could make a funny face and a funny kind of noise, and like swing around some nunchucks, you were a Bruce Lee clone. And it was, yeah, it was bad. It got so bad. And it carried over into other mediums. You think it was just movies? No, 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 no. It wasn't just movies. It wasn't just TVs. Video game characters have shout out characters, homage characters, or their own shameless Bruce Lee clones. Like, most fighting games are gonna have a Bruce Lee character. Because it's just a requisite. You can't have a martial arts themed game without the martial artist ever. So, um, to that extent, this was a long segue, but we're here. This is the Bruce Lee clones tier list. I don't know all of these Bruce Lee clones, so I'm not gonna rate all of them. But the ones I do know, we're gonna talk about. So, we're gonna rate these not by how obvious or how much of a shout out they are, but by how well they do it. Yes, yes, I did accidentally show the other tier list that I'm doing, but right now we're focusing on the Bruce Lee clones. So S tier is gonna be for Bruce Lee clones that are either successful enough at pulling it off that it doesn't feel like just, oh, this is the Bruce Lee guy. That it feels, if it's both respectful and awesome. Okay, because there are some that just aren't. All right, so this is gonna be S is awesome, respectful. A tier is gonna be for ones that are, let's say they're ones that get the idea. They're not bad. They're not like the best ones, but they get the idea of at least what it's supposed to be. B tier is gonna be, let's say B tier is gonna be for those that miss one or two things, but they're close enough that, no, you know what? We'll just say B is for Bruce. B is for the ones that are like generic enough that it's just okay, yeah, that's just the Bruce Lee character. C is gonna be for, um we'll call it the Bruce Lull tier. These are the ones that are usually more comedic, the ones that usually like kind of lampoon him, the ones that like kind of take the concept of the Bruce Lee character and make it more of a joke. And then D is just gonna be for in name only, where it's just like it barely even counts. Seeing the character roster is blowing my mind. Oh yeah, there's a lot. So my criteria is gonna be kind of vibes based, but at the same time, it's also gonna include like it. I'll explain my reasoning for each character as we go. So let's start off with John Lee from Dead or Alive. Now, John Lee is an interesting case because he is a Bruce Lee character. He is incredibly ripped. He does know Chinese martial arts. He does the noises. But he's not just that. He's a relatively complex character for the Dead or Alive series who grew up in hard times, grew up as a troubled youth, um, grew up as an abused youth, and found strength in watching, ironically enough, Bruce Lee movies. Like there's legitimately an ending vignette of his in one of the games where he's reminiscing on the days where he was just a helpless kid getting smacked around, and he would watch movies of this guy beating up people and fighting for others and stuff, and the guy on the screen looked a lot like Bruce Lee. So in his world, Bruce Lee actually existed and is basically represent and so John Lee himself, the character that you play as in the game, is basically representative of everyone who ever grew up inspired by a Bruce Lee movie. He's Leaboo? But yeah, so John Lee is an interesting case where he is shouting out his own hero, but he also grew up with that hero. And so he's not just a Bruce Lee clone, but a guy who was kind of pseudo raised by Bruce in the way that anyone else is who grows up watching his stuff and learning from him. So I think that's S tier because I might relate to that a little too much. And I think also that that's really cool that, like, incorporating not only a Bruce Lee character, but somebody who was inspired by a Bruce Lee like figure in his own world. I think that's really cool. So we're gonna say that that's awesome and respectful, and yeah, no notes there. Um, Next, Liu Kang from the Mortal Kombat series. Boy, do I have thoughts on Liu Kang. In the original timeline, this is okay. So in the original timeline, he Liu Kang was played straight. He was like, a Shaolin warrior who initially was, non-violent, or in the sense that like he didn't kill whatever. So that's why in Mortal Kombat, the very first game, he had that weird not fatality. And then from there, he got more complex and whatever. But here's the thing. Aside making the noises and being a kung fu guy, Liu Kang isn't really a Bruce Lee character in the way that a lot of these other fighting game characters are. Uh, he kind of is his own thing that just incorporates like shout outs to Bruce Lee. So I'm gonna say he's A tier, that they get the idea, but they kind of just made their own guy, which is not a bad thing at all. So, yeah, Liu Kang is as much of a Bruce Lee character as Mortal Kombat has, but he's not as much of a Bruce Lee character as anyone else in this list. Next up, we have Martial Law from Tekken. Martial Law is a he's a chef who's also a martial arts teacher. He does the noises, he has the haircut. Um but he's also constantly broke and constantly getting into situations, and he kind of doesn't really get much character advancement or like plot relevance. This is pretty much the quintessential Bruce Law character to me. It's He's not bad either. I like playing as him, but it's just in terms of the characterization in the story and stuff, he doesn't get to really do much, and he just kind of is more like the butt of situational comedy. So that's a Bruce Law. He's not a badass, but you know, he definitely doesn't get the same respect that like Jin Kazama or Kazuya Mishima or even King gets in the story. So next up is his son, Forest Law. He looks a lot like his dad, but he gets even less relevance. So this is also a Bruce Law character. And let's move on. Next up, we have Fei Long from the Street Fighter series. Fei Long to me is Fei Long to me is one of the coolest. And see, the thing is, in concept, he deserves to just be in Bruce tier. I kind of made this tier with him in mind because he's just Bruce Lee. In Street Fighter, Fei Long is a character who is a martial arts superstar who who sometimes joins the tournaments for various reasons, usually involving like a disruption to his set caused by Bison and his nonsense or whatever. Or in Street Fighter 4, it's Seth and his nonsense. But Fei Long usually joins the tournament mostly as a means of like kind of popularizing himself or something to do with his film crew, not much else beyond that. In universe, though, he is a widely revered martial arts superstar. But the weird thing is that even though he is essentially his universe's Bruce Lee, his Street Fighter 2 outro, his what do you call it, arcade ladder ending implies that he's not the first, because somebody basically says that like, oh, um oh, you're great, I would love to like something something, and like they laud all this praise on him at the end of Super Street Fighter 2, and Fei Long goes thanks, but I understand that I'll never be like the great one himself was. And then it cuts to him training with a bunch of other people. And so, at least back then, and it never really got retconned out, it implies that Fei Long exists in a world as a Bruce Lee type of like level of superstar, in a world where there was a Bruce Lee. It confuses me, but at the same time, it intrigues me. Because to me, it implies that he's like the most successful Bruce Lee clone in that world. It's fascinating. I love it. And they never really walk that back. So to me, it implies there was a Bruce Lee in his world who, very similarly to ours, kind of just, was struck down. And so Fei Long is the closest we'll get, and he acknowledges that. And he becomes his own star and stuff, and it's cool. So yeah, I'll take that. But aside that, he's pretty much just the Bruce Lee guy of the game. He's B is in Bruce tier because he's just Bruce Lee, but in my heart, he's awesome. I would put him as an S rank if it wasn't for the fact that yeah, he's really he literally is the Bruce Lee guy. Um this is Killick. No, not Killick. Maxi from the Soul Calibur series. And Maxi from the Soul Calibur series is kind of a Bruce Lee character in name only. He doesn't even really have the. He has the hair sometimes, but his main thing is that he does the noises and fights with nunchucks. So there's not much to him aside that. He's a flamboyant kind of like, show offy fighter, but he's not the most Bruce Lee character that we could get. Same goes for Jackie from Virtua Fighter. Yeah, he does the noises, but I mean, he doesn't even have the hair, and he just does. I mean, yeah. So that's more like a Bruce Lee character by designation rather than by being a shout out to Bruce Lee. I don't know. I can't tell who that is off a glance, so I'm gonna skip over that. But I'm just gonna say that looks like a girl, so that's pretty cool. Could stand to have more like girl Bruce Lee characters. Um, what do you call it? Let's see. Next up, John Talbane from the Darkstalkers series. This one, I don't know whether to rate as a Bruce Law or an in name only because John Talbane, his human form doesn't look a lot like Bruce Lee. His fighting style kind of invokes like the lightning speed, and he uses the nunchaku as well. But he's not much of a Bruce Lee character aside from that. I mean, he doesn't even make the noises. He growls and he howls like a wolf. So I mean, obviously that works. But I think I'm gonna keep him in name only as like a designated Bruce Lee character. This is a King of Fighters character. I don't know him by name. I can't say. I think that's Shingo. I don't. But nothing about his like typical fighting style really invokes anything. I don't even know why K-Dash is here. Why is K-Dash here? He's not a Bruce Lee character. What the hell? I mean, listen, I like K-Dash. K-Dash is one of my favorite like KOF characters, especially like his super move where he throws the glasses at you and if it hits, he teleports over to where you are and does like a massive combo, but what makes him a Bruce Lee character? That's an in name. That's a designation only. KOF doesn't really have any Bruce Lee characters, so I guess this tier maker was kind of reaching for it. I don't know who that is. This is Billy and Jimmy Lee from the River City series or the Double Dragon series, as I know them. I grew up with them as the stars of Double Dragon. These are just Bruce, especially Billy Lee. I think Billy Lee is a bit of a shout out to Billy Lowe, which is the name of the character that they gave the Bruce Lee's character in Game of Death, which was his unfinished film that they cobbled together and try to make into its own thing. And of course, the surname Lee. Um, he's got the short hair. He does, he fights. He does the. I don't think he does the noises. I don't. Maybe in later games, but certainly not in the games that I remember. And then Jimmy Lee is his brother or the player two character. I'm just gonna put him here too, and because they're kind of interchangeable. So they're just the Bruce Lee character. Don't know who that is, but I know he's wearing a yellow and black tracksuit. Don't know who that is or that. Iron Fist, I think, counts more as a Bruce Lowell. Um, Marvel Comics' Iron Fist is basically a guy who has what do you call it? He's got a he's got kung fu skills. He invokes dragon imagery since Bruce Lee was known as the Dragon. Um, Other than that, he doesn't really have much going for him. I mean, his most popular iteration is a white guy named Danny Rand, and also he's kind of like a C tier street level jobber in the Marvel comics. He doesn't really do much. I'm gonna say he's a Bruce Lowell. I mean, if anything, Shang-Chi is more of a Bruce Lee character. I don't know why he's not here. Shang-Chi in the Marvel comics is more of a Bruce Lee character because he's, Chinese. He's got martial arts. He, you know, why the hell isn't Shang-Chi here? Is that supposed to be Shang-Chi? Why does that look like a Fortnite skin of Shang-Chi? You know what? I'm not going to count that. That is a Punch-Out character. I forget his name, but he's definitely a Bruce Lowell because the Punch-Out series is definitely more comedic. He does the noises. He's got the intense expression, the bushy eyebrows. But I mean, it's Punch-Out. He's he's automatically a Bruce Lowell. Um, Mike Guy and Rock Lee are Bruce Lawls. I mean, yeah, they're supposedly badass in their universe. They don't do the ninja magic. They fight with their fists and feet. Uh, I don't care. They're comic relief characters. They're Bruce Lawls. They have the bow cut, the bushy eyebrows, and the skill. But I mean, they're they're comic relief in in their own world. So like, I can't rate them as higher than Bruce Lowell. Maybe you know what? Mike Guy is a Bruce. Mike Guy is a Bruce tier. I'll give him a promotion over Rockley. No, 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 no. Rockley versus Gara was kind of cool, but it was his one fight, okay? After that, he went straight downhill. At least Mike Guy had his fight against Madara. Fucking Madara. He humbled the shit out of that zombie bitch. Pretty much cost him like almost everything. But you know what? That's just what you do. That's what you do. Yeah, he ended up paralyzed, but you know what? He humbled Madara. Like Madara went, "Damn, what the fuck just happened to me?" All right. This next one is an instant promotion to an S, and I would probably make a brand new tier just for him. It's motherfucking Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. Oh my god! Kenshiro! Holy crap, where do I even start? Fist of the North Star is one of my all-time favorite anime series. I haven't actually read the manga more than like a few chapters. I need to fix that. I will fix that. Holy crap. Kenshiro. Okay, picture this. Bruce Lee in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, righting wrongs, doing the fucking kung fu, doing the I can't do the noise right now. My voice is still shot. I'm sorry, but he's doing the kind of stuff. But every time he does that, somebody explodes. Kenshiro. Bruce Lee in Mad Max, but anime, where everyone is 20 times the size they should be, even the horses. And then there's Kenshiro. Oh my god, Kenshiro. There's nothing he can't do. There is no wrong he can't avenge. He will freaking hit you. And when he does, it's too late because omae wa mo shinderu. Oh, you a shock. Kenshiro is like basically the biggest badass to ever badass in my opinion. And even if after I eventually read Berserk and get to Guts, I'm still gonna rate Kenshiro because holy crap. To be fair, there were lots of normal sized people and horses, but they were like grass being cut down. Yeah, Kenshiro is a relatively normal sized dude, I say, as he still looks like 6 feet tall. In a world where people can like appear to be 20 feet tall for no reason. Other than like fucking aura, I guess. But that doesn't matter because Kenshiro just touches them and they explode. Ah, Kenshiro's the best. Yeah, an instant S tier, S plus just for Kenshiro. You know what? I can make my own rules. I make my own rules. Kenshiro. What tier is he on? Kenshiro tier. Untouchable. The throne of heaven. Next up, Hitmonlee. That's in name only, and that's only for the benefit of the US audience. He's named after somebody else in Japan. So, he's not even a Bruce Lee character in Japan. Hitmonlee is lucky to even be here because of localization. Don't know who, like, the rest of these are. Is that not just Bruce Lee? I swear that's just Bruce Lee. Alright, so yeah, I don't know who all the rest of these are. And then I know of her. I know she's a Persona character. She has the bowl cut and does martial arts, but aside from that, I don't think she really does anything Bruce Lee like. So, or like her personality is like anything Bruce Lee like. If anybody out there knows Persona characters, let me know. Yeah, Hitmonlee in Japanese is called Sawamura because he's named after a kickboxer over there. He's not even Bruce Lee over there. It's freaking ridiculous. And then last is Jam Cloudberry, uh, from the Guilty Gear series. She's a Bruce Law character, mostly because she is usually treated as a comic relief character. Um, she does she does the noises. She fights with kung fu. I like her, so I would put her higher if I could, but um, she's also a cook, kind of in the actually she's pretty much like she's more like martial law than she is like Bruce Lee, but she's cuter, so she gets to be top of the list of Bruce Law characters. No, she doesn't have the look, but I considered it for a second. You saw. So yeah, that's my tier list of the Bruce Lee clone characters from video games and anime that I know about. But she's cute. She is. She is so cute. I love her. I love her a lot. I she's like it in a sea of people who love like Ino and Baiken and Milia. I'm over here with my sign that says bring Jam back. I love Jam. I mean, I'm also in the other camps. Let's not lie, but yeah, Jam Cloudberry will round out our list. And so yeah, we have that's pretty much we have a lot of in-name onlys who just are there to do kung fu and do watas, and that's about it. We have Bruce Lawls who at least have the look down but are usually treated as a joke. We have Bruces who are just here to be Bruce. We have one guy who gets the idea but isn't really a Bruce character. We have a Bruce Lee who is also in a world with a Bruce Lee, probably. And then there's goddamn Kenshiro. Goddamn Kenshiro. So yeah, that's our that's gonna be our tier list for Bruce Lee characters. And then for the other thing we're celebrating today, here is the Thanksgiving food tier list. Now, I don't know all of these foods, as in I haven't seen all of these personally, but I'm gonna rate them based on vibes if that's the case, and I'm gonna just mostly what do you call it? Uh, ask the audience if there's something I don't know, and other than that, it's just gonna be my own personal list of what I fuck with. And we're starting off good with apple pie. I am literally leaving if it's not there because apple pie is goddamn good. I really love apple pie, especially apple pies that are made with those like lattice, the kind of the where it's like not just the sheet on the top or like the solid top, but like it's made with those layers, the little like grid lines. Oh, apple pie, latticed apple pie is so good when you can see inside it. Dutch apple pie where it's covered with some kind of crumble as well. Oh, that's the good shit. Um, yeah, that's got to be there. That's got to be in the rotation. It's got to be in the lineup. Unfortunately, it's not. We don't have one this year in my house. We do have a pumpkin pie. We're gonna get an apple pie later, so I'm not too sad about that because I know we're gonna get one. I know we're gonna get one later, like in a few days or so. So I'm not like I'm not the saddest. I'm sad it's not here today, but it's okay. Baked squash. Now, I've never had baked squash by itself, but I do love zucchini, so I think I'm gonna like this too. Like I'll give it a try, is what I'm gonna say. You know what? I don't have a tier for. I'm gonna rename this. I'm gonna rename it's okay to. Come on. Will give a try. There we go. I'll give this a try. Better steamed? More partial to a streusel topping. Oh, for the apple pie? Yeah. Baked sweet potatoes. I like baked potatoes. I'm not as much a fan of sweet potatoes, but I mean, if it's there, I'll eat one. I will certainly eat one because, like, I really like sweet potato fries, and I like sweet potatoes. Like, actually, I think I like sweet potatoes more than I think I do. I'll still say I'll give it a try because I don't definitively know I love it, but I'll give it a try. Because you can't go wrong with potatoes in general. And sweet potatoes are pretty good too. I can smell the food being made outside outside my room right now, and I'm like, oh. I said I was gonna go as long as I was waiting for the food, so let's go. Biscuits. I will absolutely flip your table if it is not there. What do you mean we don't have biscuits? Unfortunately, we don't have biscuits right now over here either, but there was a little bit of a shortage where I when I went when shopping was done, but I will have my revenge and have a nice flaky buttery biscuit. Oh god, I'm like, oh. Brown gravy, situational, but I do love it on mashed potatoes. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right here. I'm gonna skip ahead because brown gravy goes on mashed potatoes. Okay, it's even if just a little drizzle, even if just a little bit of a drizzle, it needs to be there. It's good. It's good stuff. Like potatoes and gravy, right? Brussels sprouts, I'm good. I'm not a fan. I know some people are. I know some people who are, but I just can't. I can't. I can't get into them. I'm sorry. I've I'm not a fan of Brussels sprouts. Never had gravy. Oh, it's good. It's like, how do I describe it? It's like it just adds something to the flavor. You know what I mean? You've already got a really good, especially if you've already have a really good mashed potatoes. It's like, well, nice and seasoned, nice and buttery, but then you add the gravy to it. It just elevates it to that level. Brussels sprouts, yummy. All right, you can have my Brussels sprouts then. I don't want them. Collard greens. I don't think I've ever really had them, but I'm good. I mean, listen, I'm a little bit picky when it comes to my vegetables. I freely admit that. So, collard greens, I'm good on. Compost? I don't think I've ever had. Is that a thing? I have no idea if that's a thing. Is that a dish? Let me look that up real quick. Let's see. Did they mean something else? Because I'm not finding anything as like a food there. I thought compost is something that like I thought that's yeah, that's what I thought too. Where you like that's weird. I'm just gonna ignore that. Cool Whip, love it. It goes great on the pies, which by the way we're gonna put the pies here. Pumpkin pie, pecan pie. I'll eat them both. Like, mmm, pecan pie, so good, so nice and crunchy. Pumpkin pie, so smooth and delicious. Pie. Oh god, I'm getting hungry. I'm getting so hungry now. Oh, I'm so glad I saved this for now because I'd be like dying right now if I did this earlier. Corn casserole. I'll give it a try. Cornbread, however, I do like. Um, okay, I have been informed the food is just about ready, so I'm gonna hurry up and wrap this up because, oh god, guys, I am hungry. Corn, I don't love it, but at the same time, if it's on my plate, I'm gonna eat it. So, cranberry sauce. I love cranberries. Okay, cranberries are so good. Um, you've never had either type of pie? You have got to fix that sometime. Pumpkin pie, pecan pie, those are some delicious pies, and oh, you've definitely got to eat some if you get the chance. Like cranberry sauce, delicious. I don't care. I know some people don't like it. You're wrong. That's all I'll say. Cream spinach, I'll give a try, but to me, spinach is fine as is. Like, you just throw that onto the pan, fry it up a little. I'll eat that right up. I will eat that out of the pan if I have to. What does cranberry taste like? Tart and tart, yeah. Cranberry tastes like, it tastes like tart and sour, and I love it, and ew, spinach. I'll take it then. Give me your spinach. I'll give you my Brussels sprouts. Good trade. Crescent rolls. Aren't those croissants basically? Anyway, if it's bread, it's going in my head. That's what I say. Glazed carrots. I have no idea what that is, but I'll give it a try. Grape salad. It's not even going on the tier list because no. Wait, maybe? I'll give it. Will I give that a try? Would I give that a try? Would I genuinely give that a try? Grape salad? Well, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I could see myself giving that a try. Green bean casserole. Listen. Okay, I have had good green bean casserole, and if I have had good green bean casserole, but I know that there's bad green bean casserole. Now, the green bean casserole I'm thinking of is the good one that I know of, and I will actively tear the place down and hold everyone hostage until that good green bean casserole shows up. And if the person who I know who makes a really good one ever can't or ever passes away, Thanksgiving is no more, is how I feel about green bean casserole, okay? Good green bean casserole is damn important. It is vital to my Thanksgiving meal. Green beans by themselves, I'll still fuck them up. I love green beans. They're good. Add some salt, you know, fry them up a little bit. Mmm. Give them that nice little like soft texture. Green Jello salad. Now, green. There's also a red one. There's two red ones listed here. Now, if they mean like an ambrosia salad, I will fuck up an ambrosia salad. Okay? Ambrosia salad is some of the most delicious stuff. This looks like an ambrosia salad. This red jello salad looks like an ambrosia salad. I will fuck up an ambrosia salad, okay? Don't even play with me. Okay, so ambrosia is the name for like basically um uh how do I put it? It's basically it's like a nectar of the gods kind of thing. It is like it is in Greek myth, ambrosia is a food or drink that is like usually signifies like long life, and like it's supposed to be really good. And so an ambrosia salad is an um extremely indulgent salad made of jello, fruit, and whipped cream, and yeah, illusory singer and marshmallows. So that's the one I've. That's the way I have it too. It is so good and so sweet and so it's so all around like amazing. It is. I need to talk to my guy. I need to talk to my guy because I have a guy who makes really good ambrosia salad, and now I'm just like in the mood for that. I really need to fuck up an ambrosia salad now. Ugh. That's going on the list. That is going on the list with the apple pie. I don't care. I don't care if it's two like indulgent desserts in one. I need to fuck that right up. I am alive, I am healthy, and I need to fuck up some like delicious food. Okay, let's hurry up and finish up this list. Ham, mac and cheese, not personally for me, but like I know people who really love it. I can't really deal with that amount of cheese. Red potatoes, amazing. Roasted carrots, I'll have them. Roasted potatoes, I will kill you if you don't have them. Scalloped potatoes, steak. It's not traditionally a Thanksgiving food, but I'll always eat a steak. Stuffing, I love stuffing. Sweet potato casserole, I'll give it a try. Turkey, if it's made good, I love it. However, I've not really had that much good turkey. It's usually not that great. Usually, chicken or duck is better. So, honestly, if you can, get yourself a roast duck from your local Chinese restaurant. It is so good. Um, Whipped cream, that should also go where the Cool Whip is, and white gravy. If it's like the gravy that goes with biscuits, like biscuits and gravy, then that immediately is also paired with the biscuits. They do not separate. They are sausage gravy. Sausage gravy is like some of the most artery clogging deliciousness you could have. You open up the biscuits into halves and you pour the sausage gravy onto it and you just eat that shit right up and you have never had duck or turkey. Okay, well, if you can, you need to fix that because roast duck is some of the most delicious bird you will ever eat. That is my Thanksgiving tier list. I am not going to stay around much longer because I have been told the food is ready and it is time to eat. And so I am going to say Happy Thanksgiving, Rainiacs and Langsters. Happy Bruce Lee's birthday. Happy Thanksgiving. I am so glad to be back and to stream for you guys again. And I'm so glad that you guys are here with me. And um, thank you all for being here on my return stream. Sorry, my voice is not back to 100% yet, but um, I am going to be back tomorrow. I'm gonna do a short little stream where I read some Algonquin uh, people's traditional folklore. We're gonna find a couple more Glooscap adventures, and then on Saturday, I'm gonna play some retro games for you, do a little bit of a talkie talk, but I'm gonna mostly keep it cozy. Um, so yeah, thank you all so much for being here. I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad to be healthy and to be able to talk to you all again. It's been so long and I've missed you all so much. So, um, once I'm back in even better health, I'm gonna try to create more short form content again. Some of the stuff that I had on the line, in the works before I got taken out by my sickness, I'll continue those. So look forward to more stuff from me, but in due time, I have to finish recovering and get rid of this cough. And also get my voice back to 100% because as you can tell, I still can't reach the level that I was at when I was pre-sickness. So, but yeah, until next time, guys, make sure you eat well, eat very well today, stay hydrated, get lots of good rest, and take good care of yourselves. This year, I've heard that the flu going around is a real bad one, and it's a doozy. It took me out, so I don't want it to take you guys out. So stay safe, wash your hands, stay, mask up and all that. Um, the world likes to act like we are no longer dealing with the consequences of the mega death virus, but we are. So please take appropriate care and caution and make sure that you guys are staying healthy. Um, I'm not monetized and I'm not afraid to use my platform to say we are not in a post COVID world. We're just living in a world that now has COVID in it. So mask up, stay safe, get your shots if you can. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow, next time. And am I forgetting anything? Yes, I am, of course. Most importantly, unshrimp yourselves. Take care and have a radiant rest of your day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.